If you think about professional work with Photoshop, the first thing you should do right now, you should forget about quick selection tool, mostly. Sometimes you can use this, sometimes I'm using this as well if I'm working with something simple. But the thing is, forget about the tools that you think don't do the perfect selection. And for sure, these tools will be quick selection tools. For sure, this tool could be lasso tool. You're not going to do a perfect selection using lasso tool. But the best tool, if you don't feel so fluent with polygonal lasso tool, for example, it's great to use the tool which is called pen tool. It doesn't have in the name anything connected to the selection, but I'm going to show you in this lesson how pen tool works and how using pen tool we can do really perfect selection. Let's zoom this image in. It's still before retouch, so maybe it doesn't look well, but we have more elements that should be fixed on this image. For example, we have hair over here. Of course, we can cut out the elements using pen tool, but I'm going to show you different kind of selections in different lessons. So we have this area we don't really like, and this is really high fashion, so we cannot affect any edge. So if I would use, for example, quick selection tool in this case, just have a look that it's not going to do a really great job over here. As you can see, the edge won't be really straight and it's too many problems to fix this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch into pen tool once again. I'm going to zoom this in quite a lot, and I'm going to do a selection in the area I really want. The only one thing I'm doing, I'm just actually hitting very small distance one from another to do a selection. You can see this right now. I do this on the edge and it gives you more options, but at first I'm going to show you the basic selection with pen tool. I'm not going to set the rest because it would take too much time for us, but let's go with it. So I already did this circle. So how to make the selection? I'm going to hit right and then choose make selection. As you can see, the other option we have right now is feather radius. This image is quite big. If I'm going to keep radius at 0, the edges will be too strict and it's not going to look so well. So I'm going to set feather radius at 4. It could be maybe even 5. Hit OK and the area is selected. I'm going to create new layer, and for example I want to remove this hair. I'm going to choose a brush. I'm going to press Alt and it's changing automatically into color picker, which is over here. I'm going to pick the color, this color which exists over here. It's the same color everywhere. I'm going to switch into brush tool. If you don't want to switch between tools, just press Alt or Option, hit here. The color is already in, and as I'm going to paint over it, I'm going to change opacity into 100. So I'm painting around the hair. Now I'm going to choose selection tool, hit this away, and as you can see, we remove the hair and we set up our shape. So you have to say it's really precise, it's really powerful. Let's find another example. This will be a bit more complicated, but it's easy to say that by quick selection tool it would be really difficult. So I'm going to choose a pen tool once again, and the great thing about pen tool, we can really easily set up the shape. For example, when we're going through the edges, but anyway I'm doing really small steps, so usually it's not so difficult for me, but when we need to select some not really straight area, we can do a selection like that. Sorry, I need to do a step back. Selection like that and set up the right shape. So you have to say it's extremely powerful for our future work. It would be difficult to keep it straight right now, so I would press Alt and do a straight line after. But it's enough of it. I'm going to do a step back, and what I'm going to do a selection around this car to show you how easy it is to do a selection. Of course, it's going to take me around 10 minutes, maybe a bit less. It depends how quick you're going to work. So I'm going to skip this and I'm going to talk to you once again at the moment when I'm going to do a selection. And okay, as you can see, I made a selection. Actually, it's not selection, but just I draw with the pen around. And now I'm going to hit right and make selection. The thing you could notice, it's quite a lot, but it didn't take me more than 7 minutes. So now I'm going to keep feather radius at 4, the same as before, because the size of the image I think is comparable. Hit OK. I'm going to choose selection tool and I'm going to hit right and I'm going to do layer via copy, because let's say I want to copy this. So here's my car and you have to say it's cut out in the really nice way and the edges are quite soft. If you think the edges are too soft, I would recommend you to do a step back, hit right once again, make selection and pull down the feather radius a little bit. Then we can cut this out once again or copy this, and what you can do, you can bring different background or just create your own background using solid color. I'm just going to create my own. It's not going to look so well because obviously it would look better with a picture behind with some background, but I didn't have anything prepared, so we can create a background. And once again, what I recommend you to choose a background which is suitable for the previous background that existed. So that's how powerful is pen tool. That's how to use pen tool. And once again, if you think about professional work with Photoshop, about making really great and professional selection, practice the use with pen tool. It allows you to do really nice and very detailed selection.